Mr. Jugraj Singh, the chairman of the coaches committee, Mr. Aziz Ahmed, Mr. Ashok Rajni, and our two commissioners, Mr. B.S. Sridhar and Mr. V.P. Dalpal, and a host of our former international players who are here at the selection committee. We acknowledge your presence. And all the coaches, participants, have a nice time and enjoy the session. Thank you.
Thank you, Norman, sir. Let me welcome one and all the coaches and to-be coaches and the players for the 49th Sub-Junior National Championship Coaches Clinic. I know
तुमने बोला कि थोड़ा सा आगे जाके शूट करो
ये
यहाँ पे हाँ मेरा कैमरा पे आगे लेके आ रहा हूँ अरे नहीं वो तो बोलेंगे ना तो लाइव करना है ना
Okay. Now tell me how many of you have your notepads and pens ready? I'm going to give you a lot of notes and there are a lot of things you need to note down. So I hope everyone is ready with it. Okay? So what we will cover up today is about the basic fundamentals of team offense. Basic fundamentals of team offense. What happens is when we start coaching a mini team, and we want to build up and start with the offensive system for the team, we really don't know where to start from. So today, we're going to learn a few things, how you can introduce the basic team offense to your players. Okay? Am I clear with this? Okay. So, first of all, I would like to thank BFI for giving us this opportunity. I welcome all the dignitaries here. It's an honor to present something in front of you. So thank you so much for that. We have a lot of international players coming in with us in the selection committee. So thank you so much for being there. Now, before I start the session, I would like to introduce my mentor and my coach, Bhaskar sir. So we've been working together to develop a good coaching system wherein our coaches or the Indian national team is ready with the players, with the basic knowledge that they need. And how can they be ready? They can only be ready if the coaches are ready. So this is a very great initiative by our chairman, Jugraj sir, Bhaskar sir, who has been mentoring all the sessions here, and Pat sir, who is also going to be involved in the further sessions. So with all this, everyone getting involved, I think it's time the coaches pick it up from here and start delivering it to their players. It is not just about taking the knowledge and keeping to yourself. What is expected is how you can spread the knowledge, how you can get your coaches involved with this, how you can implement the system. The most difficult part that we face is implementation. There is a very sad thing that I would like to bring to your notice, that basketball in India is an overcoached game. Am I clear? Do you understand? Basketball in India is an overcoached game. We coach it so much, even at a younger level. We want to dictate every move the player makes. What happens to this process? Do our players lose out on their decision-making capacities? Do we give them the freedom to make the decisions? Yes or no? To some extent, we are taking that away from them. What is basketball? Basketball is all about decision making. We have to make good decisions. We have to teach our players to take good decisions. How can we make them better decision makers? It's by giving them an opportunity to explore. Okay? The other thing that you noticed when we were discussing about was the conduct of a coach. Here, I know winning is important for everyone. But let's also remember these are just 13-year-olds who are willing to get into the sport because they love the sport, they are here because they are skilled. So let them have a good experience about it. Every step is you're going to guide them. It's every step you're not going to let them explore. I know it might be difficult at that moment, but let them make mistakes. We as coaches make mistakes too. So let us give them an opportunity. Now when we speak about the conduct. How many of you, raise your hand, this is a question to you all. How many of you, be honest, have never ever screamed on a peer? Never ever. You have raised your voice against a peer. How many of you? Have you raised your voice against your peers? If you have, please raise your hand. If you have raised your voice again over your peers because they have made some mistake, raise your hand. अगर आपने किसी आपके peer के ऊपर बहुत जोर से चिल्लाया है because they didn't do anything good, raise your hand. Okay, I can see few hands up there.
बहुत कम के चिल्ला रहा है ऐसा हमारा क्वेश्चन ये है कितने लोग गुस्सा होते हैं आपका लड़के आपने बोला कि वो नहीं किया उसमें हुआ ना कि वो और नहीं हो तो मेरे ख्याल से 80-90% and we are seeing only 15% of the time.
Yes. So, see, this is one thing wherein you have to understand how to conduct yourself on the sideline. There are certain rules for the players. Don't you think if the rules apply for the players on the court, for the referees, they monitor the rules? As coaches, we need to follow certain rules and we need to conduct ourselves up to it. The first is body language. Have a good body language. I know this is many. Players are definitely going to miss hundreds of baskets under the board. It's okay. It's about how you encourage them. Even after the 10th missed shot. It's about how you're going to motivate them to do something better on the court. How are you going to get them to move on the court. So there are so many things you need to control. First is also your emotions. How well you can control your emotions. We have played at a higher level. We know the game better. But are you going to expect a high level of skill from a 13-year-old? No. The second thing is you first need to understand which age group you are coaching. And then we move forward. Once the concept is clear that this age group, this is under 13 that you are coaching, you will be better coaches. Keep your expectations limited. We see a lot of coaches screaming on the sidelines. I know that happens in the moment of the game. But that's okay. Don't forget you're coaching the under 13 team. Okay? We move on to our topic, sir. Anything to add?
We will start with PPT and later we will continue the chat.
Okay, so our topic for today is basic fundamentals of team offense. आप में से कितने लोगों को ये प्रॉब्लम होता है कि अभी मुझे टीम बिल्डअप करनी है एंड आई डोंट नो व्हाट टू टीच देम फ्रॉम वेयर टू स्टार्ट. आपने बेसिक सारे सिखा दिए हैं, फंडामेंटल सिखाए हैं. नाउ व्हाट नेक्स्ट? हाउ मेनी ऑफ यू हैव दैट प्रॉब्लम? डू यू हैव यू एवर थॉट अबाउट इट? हैव यू गिवन अ थॉट टू इट? कि आप कौन सा एक सिखाने वाले हो, उनको क्या सिखाना चाहिए, व्हाट आर द गोल्स दैट आई नीड टू अचीव. ये बच्चे मेरे पास अगर 6 महीने हैं, they are with me for 6 months. What are the things you should be learning? Coaching is not just about coming to the court, being there for 1 hour, delivering whatever you want and going. Coaching is about noting down every session, knowing what you are delivering to these girls, knowing where this girl should be after every month, after every session, what is their progress. How many of you have your own playbook? Great, excellent. Excellent. So, what is the playbook? Wherein you have your details written in it. Okay, this is my age group. These are the things I'm going to teach my team in progression. How many of you make up a plan before you take a session? Very few. So, before you go to the session, you are not even aware of क्या सिखाना है. अच्छा चलो ग्राउंड पे जाने के बाद देखते हैं. आज कितने किया जा रहा है? तो 10 है. आज ये करना है. How many of you prepare a plan? Raise your hand if you prepare a plan before going to the session. Good? 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 So what do you prepare in the plan?
Sorry, maybe you have a question in your plan. Immediately their children news or maybe news, whether you have the plan or not, like they said that we are the table. Once you started to work on the plan, then you might have to do.
And you will then know how much you can deliver in 1 hour session. तो ऐसे होता है कि अरे मैंने अभी सेशन स्टार्ट किया और मैंने कुछ सिखाया ही नहीं and the time is up. So learn to plan your session. How many drills you will take in it? How are you going to prepare for it? Okay? Now let's come back to our topic. Basic fundamentals of team offense. So what do you think are the fundamentals of team offense? What are the fundamentals of team offense? Cleaning, cutting, what else? Footwork, good. Dribbling, perfect. Moving without the ball, taking, defensive balance. I have the best skills here. Okay, what next? Anything else, Suyada? Okay, there are 2 elements before we move into the fundamentals. Next slide, please. The 2 elements, the 2 important elements in basketball. One is moving with the ball. Second is moving without the ball. Moving with the ball, हम सब सिखाते हैं. Everyone teaches how to move with the ball, but we very rarely teach our girls how to move without the ball. Okay? So let's try and understand and balance both these things, moving with the ball and moving without the ball. Now, once you understand this concept, we come into the fundamentals. The first fundamental that we have is footwork. Okay? These are certain fundamentals that we need to teach our players before we develop good fundamentals for team offense. Footwork, next, passing, catching, dribbling, rebounding, shooting, decision making. These are few of the fundamentals that you need to teach your players before they move into a good team offense. Now why have I mentioned catching here? How many coaches teach your players how to catch the ball? You all teach them how to pass the ball. Ask after they have. This is a check pass, it's a bounce pass, this is how you give a lob pass, whatever. But how many of you teach your players how to catch the ball? Great. So, can you tell me how do you teach your players to catch the ball? Rajesh? Okay, great, excellent answer. So, the best thing is you need to show the target hand. Open up your palm. How to catch the ball, then how do you bring the ball in your custody. So all these things, along with teaching them how to pass, the similar way how to teach them how to move with the ball, but we don't teach them how to move without the ball. Similarly, we see most of the times we teach them how to pass the ball, but we forget to teach them how to catch the ball. And that is where we have a lot of turnovers when we see them play here. Right? We are not very good with our fundamentals. Moving on to the next one. These are the 8 questions that every coach should ask themselves that am I doing this before I start building up my team offense? Does your offense have good spacing? So when you are teaching your players, the first question you can ask yourself, or when you are building up your system, the first question you can ask, does my offense have a good spacing? Does your offense penetrate the defense? What do you understand by this question? Is your offense capable of penetrating the defense? Can they attack and play? Or is your team just shooting from outside? This is the second question. The third one, how seriously your offense flows from defense to offense? How seamlessly? So do they know, are they understanding the concept of how to move it from defense to offense? Where are they going to be on the court? How are they going to be placed on the court? So all these things have to be understood. We recently, during the youth nationals, had offensive transition covered up by Master Sir in the coaches clinic. It was a wonderful session. That is the first thing we do, the primary break, the fast break. How you should be moving into the offense with the fast break, how you cover up the day. An excellent topic covered up by Master Sir there. So now, from there, we're moving into setting up in the front court. The next question says, the ball and the players move with a purpose. Do they move on the court with a purpose? कुछ नहीं है करने के लिए कि यहाँ भाग रहे इधर भाग रहे no. They should have a purpose. They should know why I am doing this. Where I should be moving. This place I can go and relocate myself. Does any player with the ball have multiple options? What is it? Triple threat? Do I have the options open for me? Do they have multiple options of I be shooting the ball, I be attacking? So a lot of things get covered up with it. So does any player with the ball have multiple options? Pass, shoot, dribble or attack? Does your team have the ability of offensive rebounding and defensive balance? What is mini basketball all about? What is this at sub-junior level that we have? More of transition? What do you see? More of fast break? Going in, up and down? It is about offensive transition, it is about defensive transition. So, does your team have that ability to move in from offense to defense? Do they balance? Most of the teams that we've seen here, we've already covered up this topic in Bhubaneswar during the junior nationals last year about defensive transition. That was covered up by Coach Scott. If you get a chance, go watch back on the video where we covered up the defensive transition. How can you have a good defensive transition? Coach Scott had the policy of no layup. He doesn't give the other team easy layup. That is what we try to teach us. So if you get a chance, go back to it, watch the video again, you'll understand what defensive transition is. The second question says, does your offense give your players the opportunity to be versatile or play more than one position? Do you think in minis having the positions is important? Point guard, shooting guard, yes. No? Why do you say no? Thank you.
Hello.
Okay. Good point. Good point. So what Coach here is trying to make us understand is in minis, it is you should not be giving the player a certain position that you play a point guard. Keep them open to all the positions. Let them play a global game. Being open. Today, if I'm playing a point guard, but I have the player who's defending me is shorter than me. Can't I do a post up? So as a point guard, do I need to have the post movement? Do I need to understand how to play post? Because I might have an advantage even when I play as a point guard. In minis,
Please, I want to add something more. See, it's very clear that we are conducting the sessions and we start on 2-1. Most of the team are trying to go first. It's not happening. So man-to-man game, actually. So into the man-to-man game, if you are playing perfectly, then you will not enter any positions over there. So which is to move without ball and ball very easily. So you think about it, the last point was fundamental. That is the decision making. That will take place when you are not fixing the positions. If you are fixing the positions, then they are restricted to their own movements, either with ball or without ball. So that's why in the mini session we don't want to take any personalized thing. Still, we are playing because we want to win the championship. So we are utilizing the kids for their technical position to play to win the tournament or the championship. But we can avoid that. We can ask them even the tall players in this age group. Maybe some kids may be there in the same age group. We cannot handle that. Who is going to grow tall after 5 years, 4 years? You cannot judge their growth also. So it's a very important thing. You cannot judge the biological time. So we have to allow all the players to play without any coaching. That will be better in the age group of below 13 years. And everyone knows that as per FIBA, you cannot play is Zoom. We are trying to play a maximum like game with the Zoom principles. Because you are a coach. You know better the Zoom, you know better the maximum. So you are just making some of the points, some of the principles you are using very nicely, and you are not showing that whether you are doing playing a Zoom or not, but you are playing Zoom. So that can be avoided. We will just their very important area they are decision making. You are assisting the teams. You are making them to play. You are not allowing them to play. So what will happen after 2-3 years, this is the right age to transform into the 16. 16, 17, 18. 18 we used to call it is a complete basketball play. So if you are doing like this, when they are reaching for another 3 years back, 17, under 17, it's very tough for them to play. So we have to take it in consideration. Please.
Thank you so much, sir. So with this, I saw a game, I think that was West Bengal and Gujarat boys playing a game. It was a good game until West Bengal decided to just play inside as defense. Just play inside the ball. Because in the third quarter they realized that Gujarat doesn't have a very high percentage shots from outside. They blocked them completely, so all 5 defensive players were just inside the keyway or the paint. Now imagine how the game looked from outside. What are you teaching your players? What are the players learning from this? Are we forcing the players to shoot here? Because they were not getting those high percentage shots. So it is necessary for us coaches to understand that this is a developmental level. Why don't we have international competitions for under 13? Because this is a developmental level. Now they started with 15, 16, 18. But at this level, we need to understand that it is a positionless game. It is more about your developing the individual skills. So make sure you are taking care of that. Make your players more versatile. They should be able to play any position they are put into as the situation demands. The last question, does your offense utilize the talent of individual players? You coaches know, like these are the stars of my team. So how do you utilize them? How do you get the best benefit from them? So I know that anywhere, any match you're going to play, this player is around whom my team revolves. So how are you utilizing your players? There might be a player, I've seen a lot of tall players who are good and tall, very athletic, but we make them play just under the post. They don't know any post movement. That's okay. But because that player has good height, we should know how to use that player in the game. Might be in offense, might be defense. So if you have a slow, tall player, will you have a full court press? Will you have a zone press? Will you play a full court man-to-man? So all these things, you need to understand your players, you need to understand the talent that they possess, and then it is very important for you to know the talents of each and every player in your team, because in mini we use all 10 players or sometimes all 12 players. So you need to know every player in the group. Isn't that a good lesson for the coaches? Why do we forget this when we move up to the youth and junior level? What stats do we have for junior and youth levels? Even now, with this recent youth championship. If you look back at the stats, I was very happy with few teams who had wonderful stats of rotating the players. Haryana boys, quarterfinals, they had all their 12 players on the court. What an excellent thing. A very important quarterfinal match, all 12 players on the court. What else do you want? But rest, most of the teams had just 6 or 7 players on the court. When you select a team for your state, you have 12 best players from your state. Why can't you utilize them? Why can't you put them on the court even for 2 minutes? Try doing that. That is a skill a coach needs. That is a skill which we need to develop, which we've already developed at uni level, but we forget as soon as we move into youth and junior level. So let's keep that in mind. If you might have seen the qualifier match between India and Kazakhstan, such a role model thing for us. Coach Scott, he used all the players in the game. All the players were on the court. Might be for a minute, might be for 2 minutes. 10 players definitely on the court. So this is how we need to plan, this is how we need to develop ourselves. So I hope before you start preparing for your team offense, you go through all these 8 questions. Ask yourself these 8 questions and then move forward into building a good team offense. Now let's understand the first point, that is spacing. Okay, can I have 5 players on the court, please? Today, thank you so much for being here, girls. Thank you. Okay, so today we're going to talk about spacing. How many of you understand? We don't teach the players where they need to place. Who can tell me the positions, the names of the spots that we have on the court? Who can tell me the names of at least one spot? Yes, sir? Key or point? This position. Okay, so this position that we have is known as the point. Okay. What are these 2 players called, or what are these 2 positions called? Wings. What do we usually call them in our old days? 45? They are known as wings. Okay, these players are usually on the extended freezer line, that is known as wings. What are those 2 players called?
Long corner.
Long corner, that is more of an offensive term, but corner, yes. Corner is what we call them. Those are the corners. What we call them in our old school days. 0. Okay. So now you understand how important the terminology is. It's a point, wing, and corner. Okay. Now with this, how do you feel this spacing is? Is it good on the court? Are the players too close, or are they well spaced on the court? Are they well spaced? Yes. So now, with this, do you think you have a lot of opportunities to teach or start your team offense? Okay? Even if you have a tall player who plays only under the ring, no. As we discussed, it is a positionless game for for sub-juniors. Until the age group of 14-15, it is a positionless game. Let them develop and understand every aspect of basketball, every fundamental of basketball. Now with this, we're going to move to our next. This is a good spacing on the court. Okay, we have players well spaced on the court. Next. Now we are going to move into the first fundamental that we teach. We've taught them how to pass the ball, how to receive the ball. Now since we are moving into team offense, the first thing we teach them is about passing and cutting. Okay? Who can tell me what, not this side now, this side. Who can tell me what are the different types of cuts? Different types of cuts that we have in basketball. Yes? B cut, flare cut, C cut, okay? L cut, what else? Backdoor cut, good. What else? Flare cut, okay? Curl cut, good. What else? See, there are so many types of cuts. How many? Banana cut, UCLA cut. So many types of cuts. Have you taught your players any of these cuts specifically? Have you ever taught any of these cuts specifically to your players? Yes? B cut, yes. You said that? Good. So there are, what sir said, excellent point sir. What sir is saying is there are few cuts that are used off the screens. But there are, the basic cuts that we are going to talk about today is about passing and cutting. So what do you think, what cut can this player use once he passes the ball to the wing? Front cut, let's go. Is this a front door cut? Okay, come back sir. What else can you use? Okay. Okay. Front door cut, back door cut. Two things you can do right away after the pass. Okay. Now front door cut, you use a front door cut when the defense is in a squared up position. When the defense is not denying or when the defense is in an open stance. When the defense is in an open stance. So right now, our coach is in an open stance. He is shoulder to shoulder with his offense. Now, with this, right after the pass, with one simple fake, we have the defense moving, and this is fast. You can brush, and you go in for a front door cut. As simple as that, sir.
Can we add tools? It's front door cut. When you used to use a front door cut? When we will ask players to go for a front door cut. Already she shown one. Defense is not denied. You can open stance. What is the meaning of open stance? Open stance. Can you show me that open stance? Yeah. See, it's one pass away. You all know that. She is going to show that open stance. Okay. Is it okay? Open stance? Is there any open stance in defense? Guarding a ballman? Okay. Okay. So she is talking about the defensive stance. Maybe on parallel or a staggered stance. Okay, good. Thank you. Sandhu sir. So Anika ma'am said that how they will move that the front cut. So we have to add one more things. We have to read the defense. We all know that we have to add the defense, read the defense, and we are going to use a cut. So there is a pass. After that, if you are making any fake or any cut towards opposite side, it means you are yielding the man on the opposite side. Deceive that. If he is not coming back, then you have to use the front door cut. That is the time you have to immediately sit to your body and you have to go. Whenever you are going for sit, from here to here, one step, you should not put all the body weight on the forward leg. Your body weight is still on the rear foot. So you are showing that you are going, but you are not putting a body weight over there so that you cannot sit yourself very easily. So if Sandhu sir is not sitting, the defense is not, the one step fake, he is guarding, you sit this way. He got it, if he is not getting back, immediately have to go for a cut. The second option, she has shown already this option. Now let's go to the second option. When he can go for a front door cut. Ball please, on the middle. Pass and cut. What is the second option? When we can use it? Kids, please be silent. Coaches, please.
Back door cut.
No, only front door cut. So one option he said that I'll make a move, then if he is not coming back, I will go. Either I will use right or left leg. Now, second option.
डिफेंस रिएक्ट करता है सर उस साइड गैप स्टेप पे जब
वो तो हो गया, वो तो कर लिया हमने. When the defense is not looking the offensive player, when the defensive player is concentrating more on the ball, then immediately you have to choose not the backdoor cut, you have to choose a front door cut. When there is a pass, look at the ball side, Santosh. Immediately you have to cut on the front side, not on the back door. Please keep in mind, these are two ways we have to go for the front door cut. Yeah.
Okay. Great techniques there to use a front door cut. Now, what happens if the defense is denying? Let's get in the denial position, coach. What is the denial position? You are restricting the player from receiving the ball. The player cannot receive the ball. You're forcing the player or you're blocking the passing lane. You understand the passing lane? So, from the ball man to this player, it is a lane. If you draw a straight line, that becomes a passing lane. What are you doing? You're blocking the passing lane. So when you block the passing lane, it's nothing but denial offense, denial defense. So when you are doing a denial defense, what option does the offense have? Backdoor cut. Let's go. Backdoor cut. Okay, as we move forward with team offense, I'm going to talk about different cuts. Okay, so be aware of what different cuts are, when they can be used. Okay, so simple. Now, how many of us have taught our players the simple footwork that coach said? Just a jab and move, or might be just a kick and move. How many of us have taught these things to our players? Okay, so what is this? Is it with the ball movement, on ball movement, or without the ball? Is it? Yes. So this movement without the ball is going to create good opportunities for you to move and create good shooting opportunities for you. So with this, every cut, so every pass is made, you have to make sure you cut. What do we see in most of these teams playing now with mini basketball? What are they doing? They pass and they wait. Do you have any movement on the court when you pass and you wait? No. To create the movement on the court, what do we need? We need to pass and move, Okay? We have to teach our players the basic things of passing and cutting. Clear with this? Front door, back door. Now we move into the next one. Now we know we pass the ball, we cut, but we also have to fill up the spot next to the ball man. Next to the ball man, the spot always has to be filled up. What comes up there? This is the next step that we are going to teach our players. So after he's made a pass, can you come back again? Make a pass in this. Ball here. Pass the ball. He cuts in. Post up. So a simple footwork again. This is also known as a post up cut. You're going to move in, reverse pivot. You're going to ask for the ball. You don't get the ball. You're going to move out. Now our rule says the spot next to the ball man needs to be covered up. We move up, we move up, we move up. Where would you want the cutter to go? Do you teach your players, have told our players, pass एक cut किया, cut के बाद कहाँ जाना है? Ball side या opposite side? Okay, see, so many simple things. But if you start teaching your players these things, I think it makes the job easier for our national team coaches. Because they know the basics of how to move on the court. I've been a national team coach, and believe me, it is so difficult in those 3 months to teach the players these basic things. Where to move on the court, how to move on the court, what to do without the ball. They are completely lost. So imagine our under 13, 16, 18 players learning these things and then getting into the Indian camps. Then we just need to focus on strategies. That is what an elite coach does. Just focus on the strategies. But what we do, we have to start from basics. How to set a screen, what to do after the screen, what is a pick and roll, what is a pick and pass, what is the right way, what is a legal screen, what is an illegal screen. So it's a humble request. Start teaching your players the basics. It makes the job easier. What is going to happen with this? We are raising up the Indian standard. We are taking our teams because we are giving them more time to practice the strategies. Okay? Now, next, we have the ball there. Let's cut. Cut. Okay. Is this the right way to cut? Right? Can you do it again, sir? Okay, blocking the player using our body. What we don't teach our players is to play physical, is to use the body and then play on the court. We teach them the movement, but we don't teach them the contact. So every time when you are cutting in, so when you have the coach, a simple fake, and I'm just going to go in here, is there any contact? No. Am I blocking the defense? No. Am I getting my lane open? No. So what is it that I should be doing? So here, the first thing I do is I get the contact with the defense. Now, do I get my lane? Yes. Am I going out of the lane? No. I'm getting my lane open. Why? With the contact. Teach your players to get the contact, not to push, but to get the contact and create your own lane. Okay? Now, we have moved the players from their position. When the ball goes down, cut in. Move in, post up cut, you don't get the ball, move on the other side. And why should the players move on the other side? Why do we teach them? Pace, okay, 1 point, more. I want the answer. Why? For slow balance, good. What will happen if this player has passed ball, has gone in and cuts on the same side? Defense happening. So उससे क्या होगा? It's going to be crowded. We are taking away the options from this player. So every time pass, cut, and try and move on the opposite side of the ball. Clear? Okay. Now pass back. Cut in. Cut. Front. Okay, fine. Cut in. Cut in. Where will this player move now? Okay, the basic, whenever you have a cut from the corners, you cut in, you basically go back to the same spot. So you cut in, you don't get the ball inside, try and move back to the same spot. Okay, 5 out. So pass, cut and replace. I want you guys to have one good rotation with pass and cut. Cut in, now move up. If he moves up, find up a spot, let's go. Cut in. Move faster if you're cutting in. Fill up the spot. Let's go. Let's go. No passing inside, just fill up the spots. Let's go. Go back again. Pass the ball, cut. Move up. There is the empty spot. Move into the empty spot. Cut in. Move up. Move up. That's nice. Do you think this movement that you teach your players for the start is going to help them to learn the movement without the ball, which is an extremely important movement to be taught to all your players. Okay? Now with this, if I want to combine shooting, because not a single shot, I would say 95% of the shots are taken on the move. You never get a stationary shot. If you are playing a good contested game, most of the shots would be you're moving, you're receiving the ball and then you shoot. So with this, we're going to go in for one simple drill. Can I have all 5 players in one line? Make one line. I need 4 balls. First man without the ball. Okay. Now we learn the post-up cut. So first man, I want him to cut in straight. Take a reverse pivot. He doesn't get the ball. I want you to move to the corner, to the cone, pass the ball, and you're going to shoot. Okay? For minis, let's put the cone inside. So I treat you as 13 years old. Okay? So you shoot the ball from here. Take a shot, take your own rebound, get back in the line. After the pass, I want you to make a post-up cut, go to that cone and shoot. Okay? We do 10 baskets. 10 baskets. Let's go. Cut. Next. This side. Good. Pass and cut. Collect the ball quick. Come on, 10 baskets. Let's count 10. Do you see how important the footwork is? When you move and you receive the ball for a shot, this is what happens in the game. Every time you move, there has to be a good footwork for the shot. The first fundamental that we had, footwork. You need to have a good footwork. Everything that you do goes with the footwork. How many types of pivots do we have in basketball? How many types of pivots? Pivots do you have in, not you. How many types of pivots do we have in basketball? Reverse pivot, front pivot, reverse pivot. Okay, if I say there are 4 pivots in basketball, what would those 4 pivots be? As simple, so very simple. Right leg front, right leg reverse, left leg front pivot, left leg reverse pivot. So 4 types of pivots. Do you think we need to use pivoting when we play defense? Do we use the pivots when we play defense? Do you use the pivots? So if I say, okay, 4 types of pivots, I have the ball. It is my right leg front pivot. I have the ball, right leg, reverse pivot, same, left leg, I'll have a front pivot, and I'll have a left leg, reverse pivot. Alright, 4 types. Do we use this in defense? So pivoting becomes again a very important fundamental which needs to be taught. It can't be learned, it needs to be taught. Okay? So with this, now, how can you advance this drill to their individual skills? When the player comes up, and receives the ball, you can then dribble the ball, 1 dribble shot, you can dribble the ball, 1 dribble, jump shot. So different things can be implemented, but a simple drill that teaches your players to pass and move, receive the ball, shoot the ball. Look at the footwork involved. Passing, fake, you go in, there's a post up, so that's a reverse pivot. You move out again for the shot, that's a 1-2 stop, or might be a jump stop, and you move. So much of footwork. Do we focus on these points when we are teaching our players? This drill, what do we focus on? Those 10 baskets? Are the players scoring? How much are they scoring? Are they shooting well? How many of us, especially when we are with the mini level, below 13, 14, 15, this is what we need to focus on, the footwork. Okay? Next. Next comes timing. Can I get you back on the 5 spots? 1 ball. When we speak
Please
about
look into
timing,
that. This is very important thing. This PPT and these drills. This is very related to how, when they have to do it.
So timing, what sir said, very important aspect. It is not just that I pass the ball, I cut. The player should be aware when to move. So for example, if this player, if a point passes the ball to the wing and he cuts in, yes, and he cuts. He cuts in, when do you think this player should move? When do you think the other player should move to replace the cutter? Anyone? Come on, that was a question on FIBA level 1.
Please look into that. This is a very, very important key point. We have to tell them, our kids, when the next player should move. The question is very simple. He started to cut inside. So after the pass, he started to cut. When he has to start, we are teaching, no doubt. We all are doing. He has to come. He has to fill the place. Everything is good. When he has to start. Pardon? No? No. When? The question is very simple.
Okay, so when you pass the ball, when I pass the ball and I'm cutting in. When I cross the free throw line, this player, it is an indication for this player to move and replace. Okay? Why? Why the free throw line? It is about good timing, good spacing. What we are learning about. So once the player has entered the key area or the paint area, that is when. What do we call this? This is a key or a key area or a paint area. Okay? In the stats you see points in the paint. Second chance points. This is the paint area. What do we call that in our old school days? The second area? Is that what we call? But this is known as a paint or a keyway. Got it? So now, every time this player crosses the free throw line, I want the movement to take place. Okay? Let's go with one rotation. Good. You can pass the ball. Even you can cut. Cut. Cover up. Cover up. Good. Pass, you come back. Good. Pass. Cut in. Okay. Now, when will this player move up? After the pass, when the player enters the keyway or the paint area. Clear? Okay. Now, we move in with the next slide. Timing, what Sir said, is a very important aspect of the game. You have to time it. How and when to move on the court. Okay? Next slide. We have ball reversal. What is ball reversal? How many teams in up to the youth level you see them having a good rotation? When I say rotation, the ball rotation. With this, when there is movement of the ball, when you learn to move off the ball, you are going to learn to rotate the ball. The ball is going to move, the players are going to move. On the ball, off the ball movement. Two important elements of basketball while teaching the basic fundamentals of team offense. So now, when you pass the ball back. Is this a ball reversal? Are we reversing the ball again? Okay, we are reversing the ball. When we were passing, cutting and moving, were we reversing the ball? Yes, there was a ball reversal. What are the ways of ball reversal? What are other ways of ball reversal? How can you reverse the ball? Pass back, that is what we did. That was one ball reversal, the regular rotation, regular ball reversal. What are the other ways? Handoff or dribble might be one of it. What else? Can a skip pass be a ball reversal option? Skip pass? If I give a skip pass, is that are we reversing the ball? Now why is it so important to understand what is ball reversal? To shift the defense, perfect answer, so that you move the defense. You move the ball from the strong side to the weak side, you are moving the defense. Got it? You are moving the defense. Why do we want to move the defense? To create better shooting opportunities, to create better scoring opportunities. Okay? So, ball reversal clear, regular rotation and with a skip pass. We move on to the next one. We have dribble entry. What is dribble entry? Can I have 5 defenders on the court, please? Defenders, please. Let's jog in, boys. One here. Let's get in there. I want you to D9. Play the D9 defense or a close stance. Block the passing lane. Yes, thank you. So, what happens if you cannot, a dribbler or a point comes with the ball and he cannot pass the ball to the wings? What is the option that you have? Penetration? Okay, if he is a strong defender, you cannot penetrate. how do you move the ball? How do you have the ball movement? Okay, this is where the terminology dribble entry comes in. So with dribble entry, you can have three types of cuts, two types of cuts, and one is handoff. So the first one is shallow cut. Okay, so he cannot pass the ball to the wing. I want you to dribble the ball towards him. Hold, stay there. So as soon as he dribbles the ball, the moment, again timing, when will he move? After everyone knows the elbows on the court. What are the elbows or the killer spots on the court? This is an elbow. So we have two elbows. These are the killer spots, known as the killer spots on the court. So with this, when the ball man has crossed the extended elbow line, it is the time for this player to decide what he needs to do. Okay? He has crossed, dribble. At the moment he is crossed, it is time for him. What do we do when the defense denies? Backdoor cut. So he goes for a backdoor cut, but we also have to maintain and balance the court. We are just creating a ball movement on the court. So he comes to his spot with a shallow cut. He goes back and replaces the ball man on the top. Okay, simple. A shallow cut just to move the ball or have the ball movement on the court. Next is backdoor cut, which we've already spoken about. Next option that we can have for dribble entry is handoff. Get the ball here. I want you to dribble the ball towards him and do a good handoff. Okay. Is this the right way to do a handoff? Okay. Please come in, sir. Yeah, hold the ball. Okay. So every time when you do a handoff, the ball needs to be in a north-south position. Okay. So it is as simple as this. I just hold the ball. It is for this player. I have a good stance. The ball is in a north-south position. This player goes shoulder to shoulder and he just has to pick the ball. He goes east-west, I go north-south. Okay? The ball is not out. I'm holding the ball close. There is very little gap and this is the way he's going to go in for a handoff. As soon as the handoff is done, most of the players use that as a screen. So the moment he takes one dribble, I might roll to the basket. Okay? After his move across my body. Okay? Right? With the position of handoff. Okay, let's do that once. I want a good handoff, a close, box two. Let's go. Okay, a simple way to go in. So three, now all these terminologies that I'm referring to are in the FIBA manual which you guys need to follow because BFI is organizing a lot of certification courses and this is what you need to understand and you need to learn and have it by heart or practice these things because this is what are the international terminologies which will be used by most of the coaches and these are the basic things how the game is taught at a certain level. Okay, so these are the basics that we need to start with. Let's have the movement. So you pass dribble entry, let's go, pass and cut. You can play the basic motion of fence if you want, okay? So I'm giving you 3 minutes now. With the defense, you're playing normal man-to-man defense. I want you to use everything that you've learned. Pass and cut, dribble handoff might be if the defense denies. I want the defense to stick to your man and move with your man. Let's go. Good. You can also do good. Pass the ball out, continue. Move in, take up the spot. Go then, it's not just a dribble handoff. Let's use the basic things that we've learned. That's it. Good cut, cover up. That's it. Good spacing on the court. Good pass there. Okay. Do you think when the defense was added, I gave my players a lot of opportunities to move on the court? They knew what a backdoor cut is. They knew what a handoff was. They knew what a front door cut is. So all these things that we have becomes very important when we are teaching them the basics. Okay. Next slide. Okay, now the last one, what we saw one of the players do is dribble drive. Then you penetrate into the keyway. what happens? You create a lot of opportunities wherein the defense comes in to help. There are a lot of kick-out opportunities. Now there are two ways you can penetrate. One is the baseline penetration, one is the middle penetration. So when you have, can I get the ball to the base? Yes. Let's have, I want you to attack the baseline. Okay. Now when he attacks the baseline, what do we want? When there is a dribble penetration, what do we want? We want two players to be in his vision all the time. To be in his vision all the time. Nowadays, most of the teams, they penetrate, they take a jump stop, it's a reverse pivot, and you pass the ball. That is when you have a lot of drift and shift. Okay, drift and lift. So you drift and then you lift. Okay? So when to drift, when to lift, now these will come in after we've learned the dribble drive or we've understood the principles of it. Now, with this, we have an option there. That player has moved down. You can move down and you can stay there. After he's crossed the helpline, it's time for you to move. Same. After he's crossed the helpline, you can move it. Okay? Let's cross, dribble and go. Now you move. Now he is moving and coming out of the key. That is the indication for you to move. Again, timing and spacing. Everything needs to be maintained. Got it? So simple dribble drive with a baseline, we had a good rotation. Now let's get the ball up. With this, I want you to attack the middle. Okay. Now with this, when he goes in, what will the rotation be? It will be a more of a lift and drift. So I want the player to be down. With the middle penetration, I would want you to lift. As I said, this is a killer spot. Once you enter, it can be with the dribble, you take a reverse and you have someone right behind you to pass the ball. At the same time, I have two options open there. Whichever man comes in for help, I might kick out the ball to that person. So simple opportunities that are created with a simple dribble penetration or a dribble drive. So clear with middle and baseline. We'll go for one small drill here. Fine. Okay, so let's get the ball on the baseline. So now with the baseline, right, we can also have this player moving in to create more opportunities. So if you go through the manual, you'll understand the receiver's principle. So there are 4 spots in the key where you can come in. So he can take in one of the receiver spots inside the key. Once he enters, he has an option wherein he can then move in, you get a pass. Now, this player has to drift. He's going to drift down and he's going to move in, Got it? We always need to have one safety back here. We spoke about how swiftly your team moves from offense to defense. This is where we need to have a safety to take care of the defense. Of the defensive transition. Clear with the rotation, you can pass the ball, you don't get the ball, let's move out, you can dribble out, you can pass or dribble out. If he dribbles, you move up, if he passes, you move accordingly. Clear with dribble entries. Now, as simple as we move into the next one, that's a screen. I'll take another, say around 5 minutes and we'll be done. It's about the screens. So when you pass the ball, and there are 2 options, you screen on the ball or you screen off the ball, okay? So here, can I get the ball here? When you pass the ball, he's going to screen away from the ball. So this is off the ball screen, I want you to pass, go set a screen there, and then you move. As simple as this. So with 5 outs, we can also introduce the kids to screening, okay? But as I said, in youth level, in Australia, they have a rule when they play under 12, under 14 or under 15, they cannot use screens. They cannot play zones. It is all about man-to-man defense. Why? Because they want their players to develop good skills, good offensive skills, good defensive skills. They want their players to be accountable that I'm defending this player and I should be able to defend him. In zone, there is no accountability. That is why if you want your players to learn good basics, good fundamentals, you want them to be good skilled players, make sure you are giving them more exposure to man-to-man defense. Okay? Now with this, we have, can I have the next slide please? The last one, yeah. Good. Now we're going to go with screen away. We've also shown a double screen. So a lot of things can be used. Now this is off the ball screen. When we had our session in Kolkata, we spoke about transition. We know what a trailer is. The man who takes the out of bounds and is the last person to enter the front court becomes a trailer. So in case if he is the ball handler, you become the trailer. You stay there. So our players have run the lanes, they've occupied the corner spot, he took the out of bounds and he's come in. Now we can use on the ball screen with the trailer, wherein he knows the person, the face is right behind him. He will dribble the ball right in front of the elbow. I want you to come and set a screen here on the ball and you play with it. Okay, as simple as this. We had a good open gap. So when the other team plays zone, you're playing offense. What do? You attack the gaps. So it is about the single gap and double gap that you need to attack. How you create the double gap, how you create a single gap. We'll get into more details when we have our next session during the senior national. So it is all about single gaps and double gaps. Okay, how do you create them? How can you make the best utilization of a single gap and a double gap? Okay, next please. Okay, players, I think this was it. The time crunch. I'm going to take a break from your efforts on the court. So thank you so much for your time. Thank you. Okay, there's a very important saying by most of the US coaches. So one of the coaches who says this is Coach Don Scholl. So what he says is, don't teach them set plays at a young age. Give them sets to play. Don't teach them the set plays. What does that mean? Don't teach your young players the set plays. Don't teach them either screen dinner, they will understand. Give them the options or variations or the capacity to make their decisions by giving them the sets to play. What are the sets to play? What sets you can give them to play? अब आपके बच्चों को engage करने के लिए खिलौना देते हो. And then you have the block game, वो shapes के इसमें you have to put it. What are you doing? You're teaching your child some motor skills, some understanding of the shape, where what fits in. It's the same with basketball. When you're teaching them, give them the sets to play. Give them something to play with. Next slide. So what are the different sets that they can play with? What are the basic sets or basic alignments that we have? What we learned today? What was this set? All out or 5 out? What was the first alignment that we learned today? 5 out? What can other alignments be? Okay, let's make it simple. I just want the 3 alignments. 5 out, we have 4 out, 1 in, and 3 out, 2 in. These are the basic 3 alignments or the sets that you can give your players to play with. Okay? So with this basic alignments, you're teaching them the basic team offense, basic fundamentals of team offense. You don't need to get a lot into set plays until your players are 14, 15 years of age. Yes, we expect them to have a good set play wherein they organize themselves, might be with the horns, with the flex or with the continuity of fence, whatever comes in. But it has to be taught at that level. This level develops or focus more on their skills. Okay? To add up to? So anything to add up or any points that you have summarized from this clinic? You can give me any 2 points. Who would want to give me those 2 points, what you have taken away from this clinic? What are the takeaways?
What are the takeaway points?
आपने क्या
2-3 points is very important please.
With this session, what did you learn? Yes, sir?
My takeaway point from this session will be that attack from the wider front. Attack from the wider front.
Okay. And one more? Just one?
I was able to understand only one thing, that spacing and timing is very much important,
Okay.
and at all times a player should be at his or her own specific points at 5 out.
Thank you so much, sir. That was the basic thing that we learned today, was the basic takeaway: spacing, timing, and the alignment. We learned about the first alignment, that is 5 out. We have 2 more to go. We might cover them up in the next coaches clinic with a 4 out 1 in or a 3 out 2 in, and with some more secondary breaks or the set days that we go in. Anyone else would like to add up to this? Any basic things, any different cuts that you learned? Any new cuts that you understood today? Yes, ma'am? Perfect, this is a good point.
My takeaway point would be, like, we shouldn't kill the versatility of the players, including focus on the ball work more, but rather we should focus on off the ball work more.
Great, great. So what coach said was, let's not kill the versatility of the players, let's make them more versatile. At the same time, let's give them a lot of options and teach them not just on the ball, but off the ball movement too.
The important thing is, below 13 years, why we want to play man-to-man. It's a very big thing. Because if you are not teaching man-to-man defense, you cannot teach all these things. You will ask your players to play 2-3 zone, and you cannot say that you will cut, you will drift, you will lift, you will go. It won't happen. If you will play zone, immediately you will go for an overload, simply. You will not use all the 5 players. You may use only one player to cut from the right side corner to the left side corner, maybe. So the defense related to offense. So when we are teaching more defense and man-to-man at that age group, then only you are able to teach all these offensive fundamentals. Otherwise it's difficult. Okay, so we will take that. We will use zone, that's a different issue, but we have to stick with more man-to-man. The aggressiveness should be there always. Otherwise it will reduce the aggressiveness of the players at the younger age. And the tall players will not learn much when you are using zone. They will play simply on the underneath the basket, and they can guard anyone who is cutting inside or standing underneath the baskets. So we will work on that, play more man-to-man, so that you can teach a good offense. If you are using more zone defense, you cannot teach a good offense. That is sure.
Okay, now the last thing I would like to bring to your notice that last nationals, youth nationals, we had 70 coaches, 70 to 80 coaches registered for the clinic. And then when we send them the questionnaire after the clinic was done, it's this simple question: what do you think, how many of them attempted it? Just 8? Just 8 coaches attempted it. Everyone went through it, but no one wanted to attempt it. This is one thing that we really need to learn, is to come out of our comfort zone. It's okay if you get it wrong. It's okay, no one is going to judge you, but at least take that questionnaire. Hereafter might be once you finish the questionnaire, you reach up a certain level, you get a certain score on it, you will be getting a soft copy or a participation certificate along with it, saying that thank you for participating. This will be an important document for you to fill up when you upgrade your coaching certification, the coaching ID that you have, when you upgrade it there, okay, or you post it up there. So make sure, come out of your comfort zone, come out of your shell, answer those questions. Let them be wrong, it's okay. No one is judging you. It's about just trying and attempting. So do that. This is for our development as coaches. which is very important for us if we are planning. With so many efforts coming in from our federation, it is important we raise our standards too. We learn and we grow. Okay? I think I would hand over thank you so much for this, and thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much.
I will take another 2 minutes of yours, wherein I'm going to hand over the mic to Ankush, and he's going to take in and speak something. He's one of our sponsors, the Monkey Eyes, so he's going to take in around 2 minutes of yours. Thank you so much.
Good afternoon, everyone. First, an applause for the wonderful session, because as players, when we play, and we find a huge gap in when playing with different players and different things, the basics are all missing. So a round of applause for them for getting us to one standard, and that's something, you know, which I wish we had as when we were learning and the basics there. But with that, with great offense also comes good defense, and with good defense also you need good first aid. And that's where Monkey Eyes comes in. The idea behind, so everyone does know about icing, right? Anyone raise your hands? Icing, everybody knows? Correct. Everyone uses ice? Yeah. But you know, icing comes with certain challenges. What is the biggest challenge in icing? Anyone? The biggest challenge of icing? Yeah? Okay, not be direct contact to the skin. There's a bigger problem than that. What? It melts faster. No, there's another bigger issue. Huh? Availability. You never get ice available with you. That is the biggest challenge in most of the cases, right? In most of the matches where you're outdoor, you're in the sun, maintaining ice, trying to get the temperature, and you know, also the utility of it. So at least at Monkey Eyes over here, what we've done is we've tried to solve all these problems for you. We believe in cryotherapy as a principle for first aid and recovery. Alright, and that is something that we've tried to get to achieve with our product. It's very different from your traditional icing. I'm not going to take up much time over here, but I will definitely love to talk to all of you. We are there at the Monkey Eyes store over there. Most of you have visited and already experienced it and know the difference between it. But for everyone else who hasn't done that, please do it. Just from an information point of view, we are here today right now only to share the experience of traditional icing versus using Monkey Eyes, how it works and what is the difference. A quick few highlights is we bring your body temperature down by about 20-25 degrees on the affected part, and that is really helpful in recovery. That is what Monkey Eyes does. Your traditional ice does not do that, and your entire icing cycle is reduced now to only about 5 minutes. From what you would take normal icing to do about 20 minutes, now you do it only in 5 minutes. So that is the difference that we are trying to bring to the game, the technology to the game, where you can also improve, your players can also improve and do their best on the field. With that, thank you for your time. Have a wonderful lunch, and would love to see you and interact with all of you if you haven't done that already. Thank you very much.
Okay, a lot of coaches have a little misunderstanding about the mini rules. So I would like to take another 2 minutes, promise 2 minutes. Request FIBA Commissioner Dharbal sir to come in, and he'll go basics of a mini rule following during the championship.
Good afternoon. I think everybody is attending the meeting as well. Almost everybody should know the rules, what the meeting rules cover. So, if we are not knowing also, just I want a glimpse of the rules. Okay, because it differs from the 5 to mini. Okay, first thing, what type of ball we are using in the beginning? Ready? We are using only 6 number ball. Kindly note it down, it's 6 number ball. And second thing, we have 12 players. 12 players, out of the 12 players, 10 must play. It is very clearly it says 10
must play. Okay. Then earlier there was no additional points for the shooting foul. Now it has been raised. Let us it is revised. If you go for a shot with the foul, the bonus throw is also allowed. These are all the things you should know. Okay. Then the players, how you are going to distribute in the quarters. Because first quarter you are setting 5 players. That 5 players, if they have to play the whole quarter. In case by mistake, if somebody is injured in that first quarter, he will not be replaced. Because rule says very clearly in the first quarter, if the player goes, 5 players goes, if he has been fouled out or if he has been injured, and you have to play with the remaining players. That you must be very clear. Okay. And the very important thing in a team, the player who can play 3 quarters, maximum 3 quarters. 3 quarters they have to play, 1 quarter compulsorily they have to be out. Okay, this is the thing there is because coaches not knowing the thing and coming to the gate and unnecessarily we are arguing with the referees, but you should know this rule mainly. Okay, then the same thing, the player who has not played even a single quarter, means he has not played quarters, but he is coming only in the 4th quarter. Just have, he has not played 3 quarters, he is coming in the 4th quarter only, first time. You understand? He is coming first time to play the 4th quarter. Unfortunately, he was fouled out, or he has been injured, or he has been disqualified. Then, if the player is not played a single quarter, there won't be a substitution. Please stand. Because coaches comes and even last game it has happened, somebody came and asked for this. To understand, one player should, that means the player who has not at all played 3 quarters and he is coming to the 4th quarter to play, unfortunately that gentleman and that player is fouled out, you cannot replace that. This is very, very important. You must remember this. Then, these are all the main things, and some more things are that my colleague, Mr. D.S. Sridhar, he is the FIBA commissioner, he will tell you that in this, whatever I told you, if you have any doubt, let me know. Is it okay? Are you clear? If you are not clear for this tournament, at least when you go out, you have to be clear with it. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Rampal, and I'll be continuing with the small rule changes that are for mini basketball or sub-junior basketball other than what we play normally for the other age groups and the senior level. There are no timeouts permitted in the first 3 quarters. No timeouts permitted in the first 3 quarters. However, a coach may request a timeout in the 4th quarter or extra time if any. Only in the 4th quarter, 1 timeout for each team is allowed, and if the game goes to extra time, again 1 timeout is allowed for each team. The game clock, very important. The game clock shall not be stopped for small infringements on the ground. The game clock will be stopped only when the referee calls a foul and till the foul is administered and the penalties are awarded. Only then the game clock will stop. Otherwise, for small infringements like double dribble or carrying the ball or ball going out of bounds, the game clock shall not stop and the referees will not have a check ball facility. There is no check ball in sub-junior basketball. The game will continue. The team eligible for the throw-in, the player will take the throw-in from the nearest place where the infringement happened. This is important. However, the referees have to be careful. We have instructed that the throw-in shall be taken from the nearest place. The player cannot take any undue advantage. Of course, we have seen sometimes that the player or the referee pushes back the player from where the throw-in has to be taken. Yeah? And one more thing is the game clock shall stop only if the referee instructs. In case of the out of bounds, if the ball rolls out to a fairly good distance, the referee may request the game clock to be stopped. Or in case a player's shoelace has come off and player has requested for the tying up of the shoelace, yes, definitely the referee has the authority to stop the game clock. Only on instruction. The teams can play either zone defense or man-to-man, yeah, like any other game. The last 2 minutes important. The last 2 minutes, the game clock will stop only on a successful basket. Only on a successful field goal, the game clock will stop. Otherwise, other small infringements again, the game clock will not stop. Only on a successful basket, the game clock will be stopped, as in the other age categories of the senior level. I think I've made these things clear, and all the other penalties like 5 seconds violation, 8 seconds violation, shot clock violation, backcourt violation, all these are part of rules of mini basketball, and they will be administered as per the normal FIBA rules. I hope I have got things clear. I think I have a question from one of the coaches here.
So actually I have one question. The FIBA rule book says in last quarter if we have 2 minutes and less than 2 minutes and that time we take time out, then it depends on coach. Either coach wants to take throw from backcourt or front court. But in our state, in this under 13 state, the referee says that this is not valid in under 14. This rule. So is it true that this rule is not valid in 14?
This is a good question. Nothing is specified about a team cannot take the ball in the front court. So we will go by the FIBA rule that in the last 2 minutes, less than 2 minutes, if a team having control or having a throw in from the backcourt takes a timeout, the coach has the privilege of having the ball to be taken in the front court if the coach wishes to. This rule will apply for sub-junior level as well. In the last 2 minutes on a timeout. Yeah, any questions, anything? Yes? Yes.
So, is there any timeout rule for after taking a foul, sorry, not a foul, normal double dribble also has been happened. What is the time limit to restart the game of a player? How much time he can carry on, or how much time he need to come on the sideline to restart the game, give a pass? Is there something like 5 seconds or any time limit?
Yeah, the clock is running. You have a valid question. The clock is running and the game has to be started immediately after the infringement. Unless it is a foul call where the game stops. Let me continue. Let me complete. If there is a traveling violation, if there is a double dribble violation, or if the ball goes out bounds, the opponent team has to take the throw in as quickly as possible. Otherwise, the referee has the limitation of calling the 5-second count. If the ball does not come into play within 5 seconds, or say maybe as an exception maybe 7 or 8 seconds, because the ball has gone out of bounds and the player needs 1 or 2 seconds to go out and take the ball, and once he has the ball in his hand, then the 5-second rule applies. The ball has to be released by the throw-in player within the 5-second count. Yes, no, not after the whistle goes. This is mini basketball. This is under 13 basketball. So unless the coaches prompt the players to kill time, I don't think any player will do that. Unless, see, it's up to us, up to you guys. I'm not a coach. I'm sorry. Up to you people to train boys or children to play the game in the spirit of the game. Now, if you say that 15 seconds are, let me give you, 15 seconds is there on the game clock and the ball goes out of bounds, and you call your player and say, walk leisurely, take your time, take 10 seconds, 12 seconds to go to your position. I don't think that's the right thing to do. Yeah. So, well, referees are there to make sure that the game should be started as quickly as possible. It is something like a player with injury on a court. See, the rule says that within 15-20 seconds the player should be fit to play or he should be substituted. Yeah? So, well, from when will you count the 15 seconds is the question, number one. Yeah? So, I mean, we as coaches, we are only trying to inculcate a good playing sense to young children. So, I don't think this should matter, and the game should start up as quickly as possible. Anybody else? Yeah, I think we have done our bit, and we will wind up this session. Thank you so much for your understanding and your time. I hand over to Mr. Ashok with me.
Dear coaches, please be well aware that all senior basketball rules as per the rules will be applied in total. That's the following section we have given now. It is on your book. All the rules of basketball apply in except the following exception. Very simple. And all rules, you cannot delay. Every rule applies. 24 seconds applies, 3 seconds rule applies. No. All the best players coming matches. उसके बाद दोनों गर्ल्स वहाँ पे भी